Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, guys. I'm going to give it just a second to load people up here. And, yeah, I'm fired up today. I'm really fired up today. I'm just going to warn you guys right now. I am freaking fired up today. And pulled over. I'm at Myers and Charlotte. Pulled over today. And, man, I got so much on my heart and mind, and it's like I am freaking tired of the enemy winning. So I'm about to get real up in here. If you're joining me, can somebody do some hearts so I can see who's on? So I want you guys to know, I'm going to say this out of love because I'm just sharing my own journey. So when I get on here and share things, it's because it's lessons I'm learning, and I want someone else to hear it, so maybe you can change your life. All right, someone's on, so I can't see who yet, but here we go. So when you just quit. So here's the thing, you guys. One of the biggest things I see happening, and I've been this person so freaking many times that I look back and I'm like, man, Dana Glass, like, we can play the victim or we can play the victor. And I just want you guys to hear my freaking love voice today, because life is hard. Do you guys know that in Deuteronomy, God tells us life is hard? Did you know that? Do you know why we're here on this earth? He tells you in Deuteronomy, he says that it's hard on purpose. Number one, he wants you to need him. He wants you not to have to go through life by yourself. That's number one. We are made in his image. So there's a connection there. So and the second thing is he said in Deuteronomy, he says, I'm making life hard for you because I want to try you. I want to test you, and I want to see what's really in you. So guess what, Buttercup? It is hard for everybody. And when we start saying to ourselves, oh, but Dana, you don't understand my situation. Because I've been that girl, you guys. When I went through my divorce with the girl's dad, I was a girl that was like, oh my God, nobody understands what I'm going through. Like, I felt like that. I cried myself to sleep so many nights because it was like, you know what? When I made the decision to leave him, I didn't have a job. But guess what? I chose not to move back home to my mom's. I said, you know what? I created these two kids. I will figure it out, right? But it wasn't easy. But I played in my head, oh, if he only hadn't done crack cocaine. You know, I felt sorry for myself so many years, you guys. I don't want you to feel sorry for yourself anymore. I want you to say, when I quit playing that victim mode, life is going to change. My big thing this whole year is teaching other women how to become CEOs of your life. I don't mean just a business necessarily. I mean dominating your life. Be the best freaking mom out there, right? Feed your kids healthy. How do you do that? How do you balance all of that? I want to impart on you some of the lessons I've learned the hard way, because I was feeding my kids Pizza Hut and Little Caesars and Taco Bell because I was always on the run. I wish someone had taught me budgeting my money for health and how to feed them and how to organize my life. Nobody taught me that. I wish I had that. So I'm going to share some of that stuff with you guys. But here's the thing. We can keep playing the victim, or we can say, you know what? There's always a solution. I'm teaching my daughter Jaren this right now. She's really frustrated with the fact that my grandson can't get into a daycare because she's over the income limit, and you know, I could go pay for it. Quite frankly, I could go pay for it, but I'm choosing not to on purpose. And I'm gonna tell you guys why I'm choosing not to, because I want her to use her head to figure out okay, there's a problem here, but all these doors keep getting shut, but there's always a solution. There's always a solution. So if I bail her out all the time, she's not going to learn how to figure out the solutions, right? And I'll tell you when I learned that, when my sister died, because her children struggled so long because all of a sudden they didn't have anybody as a backup, right? They didn't have any backup. And so they went through some horrible things trying to figure it out. I don't want that to happen to my kids. It's, you know, we got to be very careful as parents. And it's really easy for me to do that. Like, oh, I'll just do it No, you have to empower them. Pick and choose what you're going to do for your kids. But if you don't teach them that, they're never going to learn how to create their own solutions. They're not going to learn that, you know what, life is hard for all of us. They have to learn that. They have to struggle sometimes. That's not easy as parents to see our children struggle. even as adult children, because you got grandbabies involved. So here's the thing. You know what? I've played the victim for so long. When I woke up this year, I was 50. Don't wait till you're freaking 50, you guys. Learn to wake up and say, you know what? This is the calling I'm at. This is where I'm at today, but it doesn't mean I have to stay here. It doesn't mean I have to stay here. Here's where we go wrong. I told you guys this is going to be tough love, because here's where we go wrong. It's hard. It's hard to change. It's hard to not give up on goals. It's hard. It's hard. And we give up so freaking easily. We give up. Quit giving up. Fight. Fight for it. Fight for whatever you want out of your life. Know that there's obstacles that are going to happen. The enemy wants you to feel like that. Do you guys know that Steve Gagnon and I were talking about this the other day, and I kind of forgot about it. In the Bible, it talks about the parable of the talents. And actually, I want to go back and reread it this weekend. So there's a parable where the owner gives these people talents. And here's the key. I'd never caught this. And Steve brought this out to me. He said, the owner didn't tell them what to do. The owner didn't tell them what to do. Do you know God already gave you instincts? I'm like, oh my gosh, Steve, I've never looked at it like that. God gave you all you needed already, because guess what? He knows where you're going to land. He knows what your life looks like at the end. So he said, okay, Dana Glass, I know you're going to go through all this crap, but that's going to empower you to become the person you are in 2017, girl. So quit looking at it as all these problems. It's who you become in the process, you guys. It's who I became in the process. But here's where this is where I let the enemy win. I let him win in my life for so many years because of my past, because of all the mistakes I've made. Embrace yourself. Embrace yourself and say, you know what? Yeah, I screwed up. And when you can start admitting you screwed up and apologize, if you need to apologize to somebody, do what you got to do and say, you know what? Today's the day, though. The enemy's not going to win freaking today. I'm not going to give him my power. God gave you instincts. When Steve brought that out to me, I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, here's the thing. If you go read that parable, some of them increased, right? Oh, and all of them differently. God created you uniquely. Quit comparing yourself to somebody else. That's what I got out of the conversation with Steve. I'm like, oh my gosh, we all have our own journeys. And yet we get on Facebook and we think, oh, her life looks so green. Come on, you guys. They have problems too. You just don't know about it. Quit looking at that. And so everybody had different talents. Everybody has different things, right? And so, but one person, what did he do? He buried it. But he had instincts, Steve. He had instincts. What the heck? He buried it. Do you want to know that's the enemy right there? Are you going to bury your instincts? Are you going to bury your talents? Are they going to go to the grave with you because it was too hard? Because you let the enemy win? That guy, when the owner came back, he was like, well, here's what you gave me. Whoa. I don't want to be that person. Guess what? He didn't use his instincts. You already have solutions. Sometimes you don't want to hear it because it's hard. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Actually, I'm going to tell you what I think most of the time. That it's fear. And I never looked at it like that. Fear held that guy back. Fear. What is fear? It's the enemy. It's the enemy, you guys. And quit letting him win. Because it gets uncomfortable for every person. If you think it's easy for me to get on here sometimes, it's not. Because it's like, oh, I have people talking about me. But you know what? For every person that's talking about me, I have 10 that are inboxing me saying, Dana, thank you for that message today. It's not Dana Glass anymore. It's God. I'm allowing God to use this vessel, and I quit letting the enemy win because of my mistakes. I'm owning up to my mistakes. I'm making different decisions, so my life is different. I got back into the Word of God. I surrounded myself with women that are holding me accountable, that are not just letting me out. Iron sharpens iron. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you all talking about the drama in your life, or are you making changes? Because it's hard and uncomfortable. But the blessings are on the other side. Don't die in your promised land. Don't die going to your promised land and seeing it over here. And God's like, I gave you all you had. You have instincts. You have all you need already. God gave you what you had. When Steve brought that out to me, I was like, oh my God. I didn't even look at it like that. I've never looked at it. I already have the instinct. Sometimes we shove it. I was shoving it with food. I was shoving it like, oh, but you don't know. You don't know what I've been through. That's a victim mode. Change your mindset. Change your life. Happy Friday. Love you guys.